CES 2020 is finally coming to a close, and with that, only one more device is to be announced. And that is this. Might have seen me make it yesterday. It's the all-new 2021 Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Well-equipped Ultra phone Samsung, now following a new design style that you'll see in their S21 and S21 Plus, the S21 Ultra packs some new features that we haven't seen before. Most of these new features have been powered by the new processors, as not only can it use these processors to take videos from all three cameras at the same time, but record 8K video and 4K footage with HDR10 Plus support, and that being at 120 Hz. This year, there's something really special about these processors. It's not only is the new Snapdragon chip good, but Samsung has perfected the 5nm process to bring us a new Exynos chip. And unlike previous years, this new Exynos chip is packing some serious punch. Well, sure, that punch is still nothing compared to the Snapdragon chip, at least it's not the same level of power. It's getting close. And by this summer, when the Note 20s come out, I can bet you that something is going to change. As you may or may not have heard, Samsung has teamed up with the chip developer AMD to create new next-generation phones with built-in AMD graphics cards through the Radeon brand. And while it might not be available in performance for this generation, I can bet you that next generation are going to be some of the fastest phones we've seen to date. I'm so sure of their speed that I'm beginning to believe that they may or may not drop Qualcomm altogether next gen. This is a pretty impressive feat for multiple reasons. The main one being the only phones that currently don't have Qualcomm processors are Apple products and Huawei after they were forced to part with them due to trade agreements. While it might not sound so special now, you really begin to realize where this can help when the phone's prices have come down $150 off of last generation. Now that ramble's over, let's get to some tech specs that you guys might care more about. The phone packs a 6.8-inch 120Hz AMOLED display. This means that it can display things at a significantly faster rate than previous gen screens. Some people who own gaming computers may have already experienced this with 144Hz monitors. Not only can games run better, but so can scrolling through video feeds and the such. It can be done significantly smoother, and it's really hard to go back from such an improved display. Imagine with the screen size so large, it may struggle a bit to pass the pocket test. I mean, 6.8 inches is a big old screen. It's longer than a subway foot long from edge to edge. And while they may fit in a good pair of Adidas pants, if you have women's pants, you might not be as lucky. The differences from last generation, there isn't as many as usual. As the performance is increased quite a bit, that's the main one. There's also a new, longer-range telephoto camera put in here, which is why there's no other camera listed in this section of the phone, as the camera is at an angle, and then mirrored glass makes it shoot out the front, as a normal telephoto lens cannot really be fit in there normally. Compared to last gen, the design has also been quite changed, as although I still like the look of the S10 better, it's still my personal favorite Samsung phone and why I don't really care to upgrade until maybe the S22s, it looks nice. With this pinch-around design for the camera bump, it's really different, and someone can't make a comment like, ooh, they copied Apple, even though they thought of the design first. Comparing it to some of the older phones, they've removed some of the rounded edges and rounded the top and bottom, as well as flattened out the front display, as it no longer has the curved bezels. Although some people may like this change, I really like my old S10 better. And, I mean, if you're on an S9, maybe it's still worth the upgrade. Although for me, on the S10 range of phones, I'd say they're still worth your buy, especially for the new reduced prices you can buy them for. Even at that, I still like the folding phone market even better, as my sister was looking into it recently. She could trade in her iPhone 11 for a Galaxy Z Flip for $400. Another thing holding me back from making an upgrade is this fact that there's still a hole punch camera, and that's also in the middle, as the S10 only has it to the left, which, in my preference, looks a whole lot better. I feel like the next generation, at least, so the S22s coming out next year, should fix this problem by then. But if they don't, you can expect me to be staying with this phone, my S10, for a whole other year, as software support is still expected to last. Now to an interesting point of this phone, and that being software support. I mean, you'd expect Google to be flagship leaders in companies with best software support, but it really turns out they're not. While you can't get a good 2 years out of a Google-made phone, which is, Google making Android, Samsung manages to push 3 years, and security updates, which is what'll keep your phone from getting a virus, more likely, for 5 years. which honestly is baffling. Honestly, that's almost it when it comes to what's new with this phone. The only other features are the new 5,000 mAh battery, which should give you at least 1 or maybe even 2 days battery life, and the support for the Samsung Galaxy Note S Pen. The only difference is, on this generation of phone, you will have it clip on with a case, while in the S Pen, with the Notes, which will still be carried over this summer, the pen is integrated into the device. This might be a turnoff for some, although if you're into arts, the screen might be small, but it's something better than nothing. And for $50, it's not the worst purchase in the world. In fact, it's about the same price as my Oculus Quest 2's carrying case. I'm sure those specs might occur to you if you're switching from Android to Android, but what are some of the specs that you can gain if you're switching from an iPhone to an Android? Here we have an iPhone 11, although not the newest device on the range. It's the same thing compared to the S21 Ultra. I could have used a Plus, but I haven't made a Plus, so you can compare the screen sizes. It's significantly bigger. You'll also notice other differences, like the fact that the bezel is unexistent compared to the iPhone, and there's no notch. The reason there's no notch is there's no Face ID system. But instead of Face ID, you're getting something that, in my opinion, can either be better or worse depending on who you are. It's an in-display fingerprint scanner, which has been around since the S10 and has been honed in a little more since then. You're also getting better AI features with Samsung's AI technologies that will allow you to enhance photos through the power of AI. There's also a lot more cameras. This main one being the zoom camera, which compared to the iPhone will get you a whole lot more zoom, as its optical zoom is almost, if not better, than the iPhone's digital zoom, which increases it more, as the iPhone is running on a 3x zoom, while the Note S21 is running off of a 10x zoom camera. That's a ridiculous stat. Sadly, neither come with chargers, which I am very much disappointed by. But the Note S21 does come with fast charging, which is nice, although it's expected. Other features include One UI 3 coming soon, which should improve performance and ease of use, as well as Windows Link systems, where you can then sign from your Samsung account into your computer the same way you would switch from an iPhone to a MacBook. Copy-paste is carried over, and all the such. This is a thing I experience day-to-day on my S10, and it is incredible. You also get connectivity with Samsung Smart TVs, which can be used in many ways, including tapping your phone against the side of the screen to start sharing your screen, and other things such as playing music and having your TV play it instead as a larger speaker. This includes it also doing a display where it kind of visualizes the music. Other devices in the Samsung SmartThings lineup include Galaxy Watch, Galaxy Gear S3, Galaxy Buds, the 3 generations and the new ones coming out during the Unpacked event, as well as smart refrigerators, smart washing machines, ovens, microwaves, refrigerators, pretty much you name it, and Samsung has made a smart version of it. Roombas, a bot that has a single hand that can make a table for you. Some other things include toasters, toaster ovens, microwave toasters, the over 1,000 plus items on the Samsung SmartThings app, including doorbells, door cameras, house safety security systems, robotic vacuums, a bot that has a hand on it that can do your table for you, including putting the flower pots on it and doing your dishes, as well as a whole host of cars through Android Auto, speaker systems, you name it, it's probably on there somewhere. And to any of you who are looking for an actual review of a real S21 Ultra, I'm sorry this isn't exactly the place you wanted to come to, but hey, at least you got a fact dump anyways, and what was the real difference going to be? You got some fancier looking photo shots because the screen actually moves? But hey, if you like the content, that doesn't stop you from subscribing. And tomorrow, I plan to release a video where I livestream myself making the smaller version of the S21 in a purple and gold color scheme, which is expected to come out as well. In the end, I hope this review told you some things you may not have known about the S21, and make you consider subscribing to this channel. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed CES 2021. Hopefully, next year will be as interesting as this year was.